And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OST as we've returned. We've returned here with our final best of 5 of the broadcast. We returned with herO versus ShoWTimE. I do apologize as today specifically, this day of KungFu Cup has been a bit of a shorter broadcast. I think even though it's been 3 best of 5s, 2 of them have been insanely fast series overall, and we'll see if this final best of 5 can make up for that. We'll see. I mean, I'm tentatively going to say that just because it is going to be a PvP with herO getting involved, so I feel like it's going to be quite rare to see the mid game and even rarer to see the late game. I expect to see a lot of early game shenanigans and early game aggression. Let's go. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it, baby. Let's go. Let's jump on in. Game 1 is going to be on the Old Republic. Oh boy. No, this series we got to live up to. We got a lot to live up to. We got to make up for how fast those earlier matches were. But here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic. We have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sentinels. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Here we go. So we're jumping into our PvP, and I'll be honest, in recent times we haven't been able to cover too much Protoss versus Protoss. We've been featuring a little like Max versus herO, herO versus Max, Classic versus herO, Classic versus Max as well. But when it comes to featuring some of the other Protoss players out there, we haven't been able to cover as much of that. I mean, partially because we've been avoiding that. True, whenever we cast an event, whenever we live cast a tournament, we usually try to avoid the rare matchups, but yeah, I'm curious to see how ShoWTimE compares and how he is looking in the current patch, in the current era of PvP. I will say that, I mean, we spoke about this last time, but ShoWTimE, he is an animal. He is hyper aggressive. We just featured him against Mana previously, a couple of days ago in KungFu Cup. And in this matchup, ShoWTimE, he's willing to cheese, willing to proxy, willing to be aggressive. ShoWTimE has a reputation of being a very defensive and macro player in other matchups that is less applicable to PvP. But now though, 2-gate. 2-gate opener out of ShoWTimE. Meanwhile, gate cyber opener out of herO. herO mixing things up and going for a greedier build. Okay, bold move. And ShoWTimE, he poked in, he is somewhat aware. He saw the singular gateway. Here he does like to hide his second gateway further back though, so that's how he can mix it up, and that's where mind games come into play. herO can be a very tricky player in PvP. That's why Max also does struggle against herO as well, as Zealot does pop and herO wants to expand. With the completion of the cyber core, he could go Stargate first. Nexus. No, there it is, Stargate. Okay, so it's going to be Stargate before expand. A bit of a safer start here by herO, but overall still very greedy, cutting corners. The purpose of the Zealot is to make sure there's no pylon block, or if there is one, the Zealot is there to focus it down. And here comes that natural. And ShoWTimE confirms. ShoWTimE does confirm. Behind this, ShoWTimE did open up Sentry Expand, so likewise ShoWTimE has skipped his second unit in favor of a faster Nexus. ShoWTimE also cutting corners, and in general we do have more economic starts. I will say that herO has more potential just because he did open up faster Stargate, so he has oracles to harass and to get across the map. Let's go. See in chat, has Skills played much lately? Yes, Skills, he did take a bit of a break. Unfortunately, Skills, he was unavailable during the time of the KranKy Gatherers Team League tournaments in the playoffs. If you remember, Mana stepped in and Mana was playing and competing for Team Liquid, where Skills could not. So it was a little bit unfortunate. So Skills was unavailable. But I want to say maybe like last week, Skills, or like 2 weeks ago, like Skills, he came back and he's been active in the online Open Cup scene. But the big event where Skills was meant to be showcasing himself that he was unavailable for, referring to the KranKy Gatherers event. Nikita. Speaking of, is Skills playing in tomorrow's tournament? Hold on. He is. Oh yeah, he is. There you go. Fun fact: if you want to see Skillous, he's actually playing in tomorrow's tournament. Tomorrow This is the November finals for KungFu Cup. We have the Sparkling Tuna Cup November finals tomorrow, and Skillous, he is one of the seeded players, and he has accepted his invite. So we'll be featuring Skillous tomorrow. Nikita. Link is in the chat for tomorrow's bracket. For now, though, here he does go for a faster third base. The initial Oracle has yet to really deal much damage. You can see here 2 probe kills and only 2. As we are building up in towards the mid game. Okay. Building up into the mid game. herO with a faster third base. Likewise, as you see, ShoWTimE not too far behind with his own third. Far behind. And I assumed that this was going to be a more aggressive series, but no, we're getting towards the mid game. Now, when it comes to how we're getting there, I mean, herO does have potential with the Oracle, did keep it alive, so now stasis traps are going to be coming into play. They can impact some of these fights, as we have stasis traps all over the place. Likewise, ShoWTimE, we're taking up from Blink in towards Robo, Immortal Production, Charge, into Archons. Kind of the direction, or the direction that we're expecting. The trajectory of this game. There's Charge for herO. He's going to be the first to move out. herO picks in. Gets one. Oh! Goes for the sentry. Gets one. Gets two. 2 sentries go down. He wants a third, and he barely does not get it. herO does blink away, and he bleeds out his own sentry. 2 for 1. Good trade for herO. Oracle does threaten a dive. herO, he's reinforcing. herO picks in. Once again, blinks forward, gets one, gets two. Picks up the Stalker, picks up the Sentry. Oh, we'll have to trade though. He's bleeding out some of his own units. From here, there's still a better trade for herO. We do see a herO losing 4 Stalkers, but he killed 3 and a Sentry. Sentry, of course, has more potential with force fields, with hallucinations. We did have a back and forth trade. Behind this, our players are expanding, getting a 4th. Yo, no show us the PvP where we're actually like getting a back and forth mid game. We're let's go, let's go. What is today's broadcast? And yeah, we're going to be perfecting our armies. Now, when it comes to how the armies want to evolve over the course of the game, we start with Mass Blink Stalker, that is true, but over time, you want to be switching into Charge Lots. Charge Lots, they're much more efficient, much more effective. They're very cheap units, they can close the distance, and they can trade very well against Stalkers. So as Zealots come into the mix, then you are forced to get into Archon production. The purpose of the Archons are to counter the Zealots, just because Archons, they provide a lot of splash damage. They're also very tanky as well. Temple Archives is now done, and the first Archons are morphing in. There's the first Archon for ShoWTimE, and we have the first Archon for herO as well. Yep, also morphing in. So from here you build up the Archons. This is where Immortals also come into play. The purpose of the Immortals, and we already have 3, I believe? 2. We already have 2 of them for ShoWTimE, is Immortals. They can do quite well, not just of focusing down the Stalkers, but also the Archons as well. And if the game goes long enough, then that leads into Disruptors. That's where Disruptors, they're much more cost efficient against all things Protoss. And the game can lead into Disruptor Wars, but that's far later. Bearing in mind, coming in towards the mid game, ShoWTimE does have the immortal lead. That can be a big deciding factor. To the revelation, herO does move out. Checking the armies here, we have an equivalent Archon count. ShoWTimE is the higher immortal count. Stalkers are even, and ShoWTimE does have a slight lead in Zealots as well. Okay, but it comes down to the engage. The Zealots are a little bit too far back. ShoWTimE now diving in. The Archons, they push forward. The Archons, they're getting all done from both sides. But we have more Zealot reinforcements coming in. The Immortal is exposed. And here's still quite close. ShoWTimE blinking in. Nice snipe. Yeah, nice snipe with the Stalkers. Takes down the Prism, takes down the Oracle. And ShoWTimE comes out on top. It comes out on top. A better engagement here. ShoWTimE retains the Immortals. They both survived. And 2 Archons as well. And that's what it comes down to, the high-tech units. Which one survives? 4 of them for ShoWTimE, 0 for herO. So ShoWTimE has a lot of momentum. And now he's moving in. Catching out the Stalkers. When behind a Dark Shrine, we have DTs on the way from herO. Here he's getting desperate. And ShoWTimE is going for the kill. At the same time, herO gets across the map. ShoWTimE going for the natural. Once again, ShoWTimE just has an overwhelming mass amount of Zealots. Collapsing on the army. ShoWTimE pulling back to everything else. Once again, he wants that Archon. He gets it. Archon goes down. Zealots, they try to come in from behind. And ShoWTimE has to be careful, but he should still clean this up. He still has 4 Archons left. Down to 3. Down to 3, down to 2. Nice focus firing here at a herO. More Zealots are warping in. But ShoWTimE still has far too much. He breaks the main army. GG gets called, and ShoWTimE takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG well played. It all came down to that first big fight in the center of the map. We saw that ShoWTimE, once again, we spoke about the strength of him having actual Immortals when it came to his main army. The Immortals, they did a great job at focusing down the Archons, focusing down the Stalkers. They actually did impact that fight. Likewise, we saw that ShoWTimE did a better job of retaining his Zealots. They didn't just dive in too prematurely. He did hold some of them back, so he had more of a trickling in of Zealots throughout the course of the fight, of the engage. GG. GG well played. With that, ShoWTimE takes a lead in the series. Oh. Does take a lead. And now we're loading into game 2. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sentinels, leading the series 1-0. Showing off more standard PvP, it is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing T1 down in the series. It is herO. Here we go. As we load into a much smaller map of the map pool, much smaller shorter rush distance by ground, we expect more aggression between our 2 players here on 10,000 feet. That's what we expect. Again, the Old Republic is a much larger map, so it does lend towards longer games in this matchup. I would expect to see something more active here from our 2 players. Hello, herO. I noticed that camera, by the way. He's going for the center of the map. He's going for a proxy. Now, based on the center location, this does look ideal for a proxy robo. So we're expecting a robo. We're expecting a 1 base all in. As herO is set up. Just waiting for the pylon. ShoWTimE with his probe scout. He should confirm that a pylon is missing. Oh, he's going for his own. Okay. Okay, let's go. We have a bit of a give and take here. So pylon for herO, pylon for ShoWTimE. We're going for the proxies now. A couple of things here. This position, this location is ideal for a proxy Stargate. So this looks like proxy Stargate into proxy Oracle into economic damage. Meanwhile, herO is going for a robo into a 1 base all in. So very different kind of goals here with our 2 proxies, assuming this is a Stargate. Technically, we could still go robo here for a War Prism into a drop into the main. But there it is. Stargate for ShoWTimE, robo for herO. Now, I think a lot of this comes down to the Oracle. So this Oracle has potential to cripple the economy. If he can cripple the economy, then he can potentially defend because he can limit warp-ins. The downside is that this Stargate is not going to help defensively. As opposed to a Stargate back at home, you can't rally and reinforce with Void Rays, for example, or with Phoenixes to muster up a defense. Because the production's across the map, it's going to be difficult to actually rally home and pull off a defense with anything out of the Stargate. On top of that, ShoWTimE, he has a later scout. He confirms the pylon is nowhere to be found. He does see a second pylon, but now there should be a third. ShoWTimE is aware that something is wrong. And here comes herO. Now again, if herO can defend, he's getting a shield battery. No shot. herO, he saw that a pylon was missing. herO, he reads this as a proxy Stargate. A very nice call out of herO. herO did not scout, but he's assuming. He's assuming that ShoWTimE would go for a Stargate here, and the shield battery will defend. So here he's perfectly fine back at home. Prism is on the way. And this is going to be a tough hold for ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE, he also read it as a Stargate. ShoWTimE, he also went for the shield battery. Oracle goes in. Shield battery will buy time. And sentries will defend. So far, only one probe goes down, so here he defends. Meanwhile, Adepse busts into the main base. The shield battery does nothing here. I say does nothing, but to Adepse, they can one-shot probes. They can and they will. Probes are going down. Getting 3, 4, 5 probe kills. We're still not done. And this is critical damage. This is already critical damage here because we're not going to finish. We're still going to keep going. No, 10, 11, getting up to 12? Oof. Can we get up to 14? We can. 14, 15 probe kills. Not like this. Half the mineral line does go down. Meanwhile, Adepts do shade into the main base, but they're going to be dealt with. They do get some counter damage, but ShoWTimE is crippled. ShoWTimE is crippled. The Oracles, they go back in, okay. 2 Oracles, they can one-shot. Can one-shot workers. 5 probe kills. This is nice, but still not good enough. herO is still in a much better position. Has a better economy, can afford more warp-ins. ShoWTimE going for the Phoenix, that will help defensively, but as we mentioned, takes a long time to race back home. So here's moving in. Knocking down the front door. Takes on both gateways. Again, with 2 immortals, even without the prism, you just keep going. You just keep rushing in. And here, he will not be stopped. Again, ShoWTimE just took too many losses. Unfortunately, he wasn't expecting a proxy robo. He wasn't expecting an all-in. Misread it. Let's go, getting a 3rd shield battery. He has 0 gates, by the way. 0 gateways, 0 warp-ins. He can reinforce with the Stargate. That's it. That's all he can do. And if you wanted to, we could just expand. Could expand from here. Oh. Station trap goes off. herO stuck outside the main. And GG gets called. Yeah, there's just no surviving from this. There's no coming back. herO, he will type the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Do tie things up, but we are making our way into game number 3. And again, just a misread here from I say misread, really just, I mean, they both gambled, right? They both just gambled. herO, he was ready in the main base with a shield battery. So was ShoWTimE. The problem was that herO was committing to an all-in, not a proxy Stargate. So ShoWTimE just gambled a little bit, assumed one thing, was another. GG. GG, well played. With that, herO did crippling damage, killed 15 probes in the main base of ShoWTimE. It was crazy how much damage he dealt, and now we're getting into game number 3. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sentinels. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Go. Here we go. Here we go. From here, we're going to be settling in. Once again, the probes do move out across the map, and we'll see if anyone commits to anything. We are loading into Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a smaller map in the map pool. Aggression is also favored here, similar to 10,000 feet, but looks like after proxying in game 1, we don't really have the appetite to proxy here in game 2, as the probes just scout. We're just scouting each other. No shenanigans this time. Love watching highlights of the week at Saturday noon after a wonderful 9-hour sleep. Ah, that sounds amazing. That sounds beautiful. 9 hours of sleep. One day, baby, one day. Enjoy sleep once again. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy. As for now, we have no shenanigans, nothing crazy. Both players are going to expand. It was a Stalker Adept opener out of herO, Stalker Adept out of ShoWTimE as well. Mirrored builds. No one is cutting corners, no one is doing anything too crazy. From this point forward, we're kind of expecting aggression in the mid game. Oh, as we both open Stargate on one base. Okay. We'll see if anyone scouts. The probe is going to be deflected from both players, by the way, so no one sees anything. And is anyone willing to risk a Phoenix opener? Is anyone willing? Or do we both commit to Oracles? I mean, there's no guarantee that there's a Stargate here, even though they both delayed each other's expansions. Could still be a Twilight Council before expand instead. What's it gonna be? Huh. Do we just have an Oracle? There we go. Oracle for herO, Oracle for ShoWTimE. Okay. If either one was able to scout, if either one recognized what was going on, they could have gone for a Phoenix into a hard counter. But no one sees anything, so we're just opening up Oracle. Let's go. Oracles are on the way. Oracle into Phoenix. Checking the vision here, ShoWTimE did not confirm. Neither did herO. But he's going for it. Oracles, they pass by each other. Let's go. They do spot each other. The Phoenix will help. There's a shield battery, safety shield battery in the main base for ShoWTimE. Same for herO. What's here has to kill his own shield battery. Oracle does threaten a dive. Oracle dips in and gets no damage. ShoWTimE is deflected. And you can see ShoWTimE is looking for herO's Oracle. It's here at the natural. And herO banking up to 2. herO, he spots a Phoenix with the Adept, dives into the natural base, gets 1, 2, 3 probes, 4 probes even. He commits, okay. He just commits in. He's going to throw away his Oracle. Gets 9, 10, 11 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. herO, he cripples the economy, recalls back home. Looks like he will barely not save the Oracle. Doesn't save. But herO does take an economic lead. When behind, what do we do? Dark Shrine. When behind Dark Shrine is on the way. Now, because the Oracles were just killed, fun fact, herO has 0 detection. He just threw away the Oracles. He threw them away, so 0 detection is available. Technically, herO can chrono out an Oracle once he realizes what's going on, and he can get detection with an Oracle, but that's the only way currently for herO. It's the only way he can deal with a Dark Templar. Ooh, speaking of it, as herO does shut down the initial Phoenix, he's actually going to mass Phoenix himself. He has 3 of his own. And herO is going for an early push. herO does not expand. As herO moves out, ShoWTimE moves in. herO turns around with everything. herO turns around, gets baited. Nice stasis. ShoWTimE is also committing on 2 bases. Once again, dragging the army in. No, no! The bait! Oh my god, stasis goes up and herO gets caught out. The Phoenixes are on their own. Yeah, they're on their own. And ShoWTimE does win them back. Doesn't kill. Uh-oh. Stasis traps are running out. And the Dark Templar is revealed. Instant Oracle. Instant Oracle here from herO. Chrono as well. Yeah, here he scouts the DTs. He's aware. They had potential, Pappy. They had potential. DT's walling in. herO going double robo. Wait, what? It's making 2 robos is crazy. That time that gets in, gets 1 probe so far. Remember, DT's a 1-shot probes. You get 2 probe kills and only 2. Am I crazy? Did he cancel? Yeah, he canceled. Did cancel the robo. So just the 1. And where exactly are we? So here he was able to get early economic damage and an early lead. That was a big investment into the Dark Templar, and it wasn't really worth it for ShoWTimE, but he at least keeps herO pinned at home, right? herO, he was pushing. He intended to commit across the map and to kill ShoWTimE. But herO forces turn back around. herO, he has yet to expand. Building up his immortals. Just now going for his 3rd. So again, it's been a very chaotic game. Phoenixes, they do slip into the main base. Okay, not bad. Picking up a couple of pros. 6 pros go down. Somehow, some way, they all do escape. Nice drive-by here from herO. And we speak about this all the time. The soup does lie in a sense, where ShoWTimE, he has an equivalent worker count, but he's been mining less this entire time, as he's had a low worker count for longer. So hero's just had the better economy, and that translates into herO having the larger army. That all came down to the early damage. Came down to the early game. ShoWTimE here to force a cancel. Same time, Phoenix, they just keep finding more damage here. They dive into the 3rd, or go into the main stasis, goes up, no, catching the entire mineral line. Oh no, not like this. Ay, ay, ay. Este ShoWTimE. And he's just being pulled apart. And ShoWTimE doesn't have enough to all in is the issue. He's up against 3 immortals, soon to be 4. There's just so many immortals here for herO. See, chat, is DT warping invisible without detection, or did herO just notice the shimmer? He just noticed the shimmer. You notice the shimmer, Pat. ShoWTimE does pull away. Pulls away. herO once again into the main base, going for another stasis. This time ShoWTimE is paying attention. Oh, despite that, still goes off. herO gets away. He gets away from the main. ShoWTimE is being surrounded. Get out of here, Pappy. Get out of here. Oof. As the Oracle finally gets chased down, but here he's here to end the game. Again, he's got his 4 immortals. +1 is now done. herO has the upgrade lead. Blinking on 4. There are shield batteries, but it's not enough. GG gets called. Then herO snowballs out of control. And herO will take a 2-1 lead. GG. GG, well played. Again, a very chaotic game here. Both players did open up in the same manner. They both went for the Stargate before expanding. Both went for the initial oracles as well. But here he was able to find some more damage here. He was also able to catch out his opponents, go for the mass phoenixes, and deal more economic damage. Winding it back, a lot of it came down to the initial 9 probe kills. Remember, here he kept his oracle back, waited for the second oracle, then he killed 9 probes at the natural. So with that, he took a massive lead. That was the moment that ShoWTimE had to go for DTs to try to recover, and they did not do enough damage to make up for the earlier losses. So ShoWTimE was playing from behind, took a lot of damage, invested into DTs to recover, didn't quite recover there. Did not make up for it. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting to game number 4. Going to be loading into Tourmaline for that 4th game. Again, the pressure is on ShoWTimE. He has to win here and now to force the ace match. Let's go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. Representing Sentinels down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is ShoWTimE. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player with the South Korean Protoss representing T1. It is herO. Here, 1 probe up, everything else identical, transformed, army advantage, and over. If you recall, I was referring to the 9 probe kills that he got. Like, like here, took a very substantial worker lead early on. It's far more than 1. There's no other good reason for a proxy warp gate. That is not true. It is not uncommon to see proxy pylons and proxy gateways to go for adept harass, to have a position to just warp in adepts, to commit, and to get into the 3rd base, getting to the natural. Also for 2 base all-ins as well to reinforce. Especially given that ShoWTimE was behind, like, I would not rule out, like, here thinking that that could just be for a 2 base all-in. But here we go. For now, it is going to be a 2-gate opener, 2-gate opener out of ShoWTimE. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of herO. Oh, eyes are on this probe. herO, he didn't go into the main. Did not go into the main base. We're pulling back. This position would be ideal for a proxy Stargate. Jesus, that's as herO, he's actually just scouting. Huh. Okay, that's a little bit odd. So herO, he sends out a 2nd probe as well. Oh, but he commits to a pylon. Okay. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't go for the proxy pylon with the probe that was already out on the map. He sent out a 2nd worker, so technically this means that ShoWTimE has a better economy. So if we compare our 2 players here, herO, he has 2 probes scouting, ShoWTimE 0 scout, by the way. Like ShoWTimE, he has gone for 0 scouting, so ShoWTimE, he does have a slightly better economy and building up, opening up, double adept. Now, this is where the mind games come into play. This is why herO is scouting so like diligently, is because there's no probe scout. So he believes, hold on, if there's no probe scout, then maybe that scouting probe is proxying instead. So that's why herO is so adamant about checking here for a proxy. He goes for his own fake proxy pylon. And the real one. Okay, okay, we're getting messy, man. We're getting messy. Let's go. Twilight Council on 1 base. herO, he now confirms that, hey, the gateways are at home. There's no proxy. There's no expansion yet either. But it's time to reinforce. And we're going for 1 base DTs. So 1 base Dark Templar. I was leaning towards a proxy gateway for a 3-gate all-in, maybe even a 4-gate all-in. This is a really awkward position for herO. Remember, he's going 1 base DT. ShoWTimE is going 1 base Robo, so he has access to the Observer. He can make the Observer here. I mean, ShoWTimE's also working with no information. He saw the pylon. He saw it was a fake pylon, so there's a lot happening. ShoWTimE, he scouts the fake pylon, so he believes that there's no all-in coming because it's a fake out, clearly. But he's about to check. He sees the expansion. Here, he's selling a story right now. He's like, oh no, yeah, like it was just a fake out. It's like, I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm expanding back at home. But ShoWTimE's going for his own one base all in. Yep, 3 gates, one base all in out of ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE wants to punish herO. We're about to get rowdy. I think ShoWTimE just wins. I mean, does ShoWTimE has a prism? He does. He does have a war prism. So ShoWTimE, he should just break into the main base. I don't think that herO has enough to defend. It's going to be close. It's going to come down to the force field. Going to come down to whether or not he can snipe the prism. DTs are coming in. I believe so far 0 detection. True. Could herO kill the robo? That's an option. He could depower the robo even. What do we go for? Do we go for economic damage? Do we try to kill the robo itself? What's the plan? herO, he doesn't cancel the base. It's going to be a kill. DTs, they go for the pylon. Yeah, he's going for the pylon, and I believe he should depower. Ooh, robo's depowered. Going for the robo itself. Again, it's going to be close. At the same time, natural will go down. It's gonna be killed. No, Shoddy kills the robo. Robo goes down. 0 detection. At the same time, herO, he force fields a ramp. He just has to buy time. GG gets called. The invisible man across the map ends the game, and herO, he will take the series 3-1. GG. GG, well played. ShoWTimE going for his own one base all in. There were a lot of mind games, by the way. There was so much going on. herO didn't probe scout, so sorry, ShoWTimE didn't probe scout, so herO believed that there was a proxy, so he had 2 probes out on the map scouting and checking, went for his own pylon, it got scouted, so ShoWTimE, he believed that herO was playing standard. ShoWTimE never scouted the main base, by the way, so ShoWTimE, he blindly went for his own, quote-unquote blindly, went for his own one base all in, believing that herO was playing standard when herO was going into DTs. And there was a robo, but no detection, no observer. herO, he sniped the pylon, killed the robo, ensured that there was never going to be a detection. GG. GG, well played. Whew, a very chaotic game. Very chaotic, very messy. Very tense, but in the end, herO, he will claim it, and ShoWTimE is now out of KungFu Cup. Out of KungFu Cup November finals. GG, well played. GG, well played. With that, let's head on over here to the bracket. Let's catch up what's been going on. We do have, of course, our confirmed top 4 players. We have KURE and Rainer in the upper bracket, and we have herO and Classic in the lower bracket. We have our top 4, and we have our final matches getting ready here. We have KURE and Rainer looking to face off in the upper bracket finals. We have herO and Classic facing off in the lower bracket 3rd round. Lower bracket semifinals, essentially, in that PvP. So we finally have our top 4, bearing in mind as well that I believe we have some best of 7s in the mix. Yes, upper bracket final. So KURE versus Rainer is going to be a best of 7. herO versus Classic is going to be a best of 5, but the lower bracket finals is a best of 7, and the grand finals is also a best of 7 as well. So we have a lot of best of 7s in the horizon. This is a 5-day event. I believe our next broadcast should be the upper bracket finals and the lower bracket semis, and then the final day will be lower bracket finals into grand finals. Oh boy. So again, 2 days left, baby. 2 days left of KungFu Cup action. And again, it was great to see all of our players getting involved as well. Again, some of the best players in the world. We had some nice Zerg representation, of course. I mean, in general here, we have KURE, Rainer, herO, Classics. Nice representation from all the races, of course. As we'll have one of each in the top 3, as herO and Classic will knock each other out, and only one will be able to advance on. Oh, the balance, baby, the balance. Let's go, let's go. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Hope you had a great time. Again, a bit of a shorter broadcast today. We just had some really fast best of 5s, right? Like Gumiho Mana and Classic Gumiho were real fast and real quick. So really fast matches there. herO versus ShoWTimE, that was decently long. It was herO versus ShoWTimE was as long as the other 2 best of 5s combined. But fun fact. It's crazy. But GG, well played. And again, when it comes to the rest of our schedule, we should be live tomorrow with our own monthly tournament. So again, KungFu Cup, I believe they're going to be running these every single month. This is the November edition, of course. Our monthly tournament is tomorrow. Bam, as you can see here on our schedule, we just wrapped up with the Saturday afternoon cast of KungFu Cup, and you can see in just over 24 hours time, or yeah, around 24 hours, less than 24 hours, we're going to be live with Sparkling Tuna Cup Sunday evening. You can see it there. When it comes to who we're going to be featuring during Sparkling Tuna Cup, let me quickly double check for you. Let us double check. Again, it's going to be a very intense weekend of StarCraft. Un momento. Man. There we go. So again, if you are a little bit unaware, if you maybe watch the channel but you don't watch our regular weeklies, we do host Sparkling Tuna Cup on a regular weekly basis. It is the equivalent to the Wardy TV Monday or to the Monday Night Weeklies or Pigster Cup, for example. So it is a regular weekly tournament, except unlike those events, we actually have a monthly final. So every weekly we do give out points to players based on their performances. They do, or they are invited into the end of month event. So we have our top 8. These are our top 8 players for the month of November. We have Nightmare versus Young Yakov in the upper quarterfinals, or in the quarterfinals. We have Christiana versus Classic. We have Björn versus Shameless, and we have Skilless versus Percival. Here we go. So this is our top 8. I say for the most part, just because one player was unavailable. Solar. You can actually see it up here. This is our monthly standings. Our monthly standings here for our weekly tournaments. And Solar, he did qualify in first place, but Solar was unavailable. he was unavailable. If you're wondering why was Solar unavailable, unfortunately tomorrow, it isn't directly clashing, but it is overlapping. Wardy is hosting his own tournament. He's hosting the Korean Royale. And Solar is a part of that. It's like I think Korean Royale Season 4, I think it's called. But Solar is a part of that event, and I think Wardy's tournament starts like 2 hours into our tournament. So if Solar played in our event, there's a very high chance he'd have to forfeit to play in Wardy's tournament. So unfortunately, there's a little bit of an overlap there. So Solar, he couldn't compete in both, unfortunately. So that's why he did forfeit here. But everyone else did, of course, lock in, and we have our top 8. Oh boy. It's a bit of a shame. It would have been nice to have seen a little bit more Zerg representation, but it's understandable, right? Another event's going on, and again, Solar's going to be competing in that. But regardless, so it's there's a lot riding on Young Yakov's shoulders, is what I will say. It's a lot riding on his shoulders to represent Zerg in some way. Go, papi, go. Send it, papi, send it. When it comes to the format of this cast, again, this will be tomorrow. Tomorrow in less than 24 hours. We're going to be running the first 2 quarterfinal matches first, and then the other 2. So it's going to be Nightmare versus Young Yakov and Christiana versus Classic happening at the same time. We most likely will be casting Nightmare versus Young Yakov just for some diversity and covering Zerg while we can. And then the lower quarterfinal matches will be happening afterwards. So Björn versus Shameless and Skilless versus Percival. We most likely will be jumping into Skilless and Percival. And then we cast both semis and then the grand finals. So 5 series in total. Skills fact just missing. Skilless, he is non-representing. The invisible man. Yeah, invisible men. True. There were 2 of them. One observer to win the game. I mean, again, he didn't scout, right? Like, that's a little bit on ShoWTimE, but remember, ShoWTimE, he didn't scout the main base, so he didn't know what was going on. He was trying to corner out that observer. I think he got halfway done, halfway complete. Oh, but here we go. Will there be a B stream? I believe there are some other language streams sometimes. So for example, Indy sometimes jumps on to cast in Polish. TKL sometimes jumps on to cast in French. Ryung sometimes jumps on to cast in Korean. I think that's it. I think it's usually Ryung, TKL, and Indy. Might be forgetting someone, but we sometimes have other language casters, and they might follow a different match if they want to follow a certain player. So I think an example of that is Indy. He usually does focus on the Polish players, so there's a very high chance that if Indy casts tomorrow, he will be covering Classic versus Christiana, for example. Very high chance he'll be all over that. So when it comes to some of the other matches, like there's a chance that some of the other language casters will cover it instead. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. We just wrapped up with day 3 of KungFu Cup, and again, this is going to be tomorrow's broadcast. Sparkling Tuna Cup, the November finals, will be taking place tomorrow, so make sure you mark your calendar, set your alarms to be a part of that. As you can see, that'll be at 7 p.m. KST. That'll be in 9 p.m. AEST. That'll be in 23 hours time. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it, of course. Do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time. When it comes to, hey, when's day 4 of KungFu Cup? That'll be Monday. So tomorrow's Sunday, we have Tuna Cup. Monday, that's when we have day 4 of KungFu Cup, and I believe on Tuesday we have day 5. Just double check. Yes, Tuesday will be the final day of KungFu Cup, so we'll be crowning our champion over on Tuesday. And then we have the rest of the week's schedule, of course, with KSL, with WarDTV Monday, with Pegasus Cup, with some StarCraft Evolution. True, I know there are some big fans of SC Evo that are a little bit sad that we haven't casted much SC Evo in recent times, but we'll be casting some StarCraft Evolution next week on the 5th of December as well. So we got you. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the Sparkling Tuna Cup November finals. Otherwise, stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. I don't see who's live at the moment. I know that Sort of is live. We've been raiding Sort of quite a lot, but he's got a lot of viewers. Oh my god. Do I notice anyone else? I see MinoVK. MinoVK is streaming. Luis GGG. True. Este Luis. Who else do we have? We do give him some love when we can. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Also, very quickly, if you want to support us, you can do so by following us on all the socials: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, all things KranKy Ducklings. We do post whenever we go live, and of course, we do upload on YouTube on a daily basis, so plenty of content on YouTube. If you see something that you like here, if you're like, hold on, I didn't get to watch day 2 of KungFu Cup or day 1 of KungFu Cup, then check it out on YouTube. Likewise, the Podcast, that is our weekly talk show where we talk all things StarCraft. You can check that out on YouTube as well. We do stream it every single week. This week we spoke about, there was quite a lot to discuss. We did have, of course, the announcements of Coca. Coca is now a papi. Coca papi. Yeah. Coca, of course, now has a daughter and now has started a family. We have Fantasy. Fantasy got married a couple of days ago as well. What else did occur? Hold on. No, something bigger. We had our miniatures discussion last week. Oh right, the Soso interview. True. Brutal related, but Zomagub did interview Soso this week as well, so we discussed that. We went through Cyril's EWC game analysis as well, and of course all the events of the week, so do highly recommend checking out the podcast. Again, I think that we are the only running SC2 talk show at the moment, which is kind of crazy. It's feels bad, man. Long gone are the days of the Pylon show or Remax or the Late Game or the High Yield podcast or all these other god, what's the other, Unfiltered, true, or all these other talk shows. All gone, papi, all gone. Only the Ponge cast remains. We do what we can. And of course, we try to keep you guys as updated as possible in regards to all things StarCraft. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. You can support us via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. I was just showing off the Sparkling Tuna Cup, but hey, that tournament, you can help fund it. You can help grow that tournament, the Sparkling Tuna Cup, via Patreon. That is the place to do it on. We have a bunch of stretch goals. We have a bunch, it's all broken down when it comes to what our next goals are going to be, when it comes to the prize pool breakdown as well. It's all on Patreon. You can help support us, so you can help us grow the Tuna Cup. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. See you then. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you tomorrow. Hasta luego.